Ladies and gentlemen, it is another week of Unsportsmanlike here on Know Your News. I am Greg Cherry, alongside the man who loves fantasy football drafts and setting their orders, Jarrett Bailey. Jarrett, what is up? How are things going?
Jeremy Lambert is giving me hell for that, by the way, all day.
You know what? Yeah, me too. Like, I was supposed to draft fifth.
Yeah, you can even ask Tempest about this, because Tempest backed me up when I said, yeah, I set it, and for some reason it just didn't set. And Tempest said, yeah, Yahoo has done that in the past to me as well. So Tempest is the only one backing me up amongst all this. So I appreciate him. And then earlier on today, during their challenge, I don't know what the hell the challenge is, but they had like a Fightful adjacent draft thing. And Cher tried drafting me, and Jeremy threw a fit. And it was just an entire ordeal. But yes, we did have a good draft. Like, the draft was good.
I mean, I'm not gonna complain about where my draft is. Like, I got like a C draft.
I'll be keeping everybody's money, is what I've decided. Like that my roster looks good enough where I think I'm gonna win.
Well, there you go. But I typically try not to pay too much attention to draft scores, because like I still feel like, even though I drafted 11th, I still have a pretty solid team.
Sure. I mean, that's usually how it goes. Like, draft order doesn't necessarily, if you know what you're doing, it shouldn't matter all that much. Also, I will say my shirt, I don't know if anybody can see this, but it said, "Remember, kids, the highest reward in journalism is getting killed by the CIA." So I liked that, and I just wanted everybody else to see it.
Well, there you go. And mine is a shirt I got for my birthday, the old Pandas WWF logo.
That's a good one.
As we kick off today, speaking of, well, no, those aren't animals. Those are foods. I have no idea where this transition was going. So, you know how we've talked about this before, how the Pirates have like the pierogi race and other teams.
Oh God, are we seeing another mascot race?
We are, because the Carrot, whoever was playing the Carrot, fell down in this race. I believe
he got sniped.
Yeah, he got taken out at the stem, I guess.
This looks old. Like, if you told me this is from 2007, I would believe you.
This was in last week.
Just for a minor league team?
Yeah,
okay.
Which might explain the video.
Yeah, okay, that explains a lot of it.
Shooting it off their like MySpace camera or something.
Sure.
It's another one of those things. This kind of thing is still funny, though. I'm not sure what made him trip.
Seeing people in costumes fall.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a bad edition of Let's Make a Deal or something. But it's one of those things that it's got to be hard to run in a costume, first of all. Even if you like, yeah. Plus, it's hot because it's August. But yeah, I mean, those are always fun. We're gonna get right into our next play, though, because I mean, that one was easy enough. It's a mascot falling down, but this one was a little confusing. The Houston Astros and the Boston Red Sox were playing, and yes, Boston. This is not their first appearance on the show, and it won't be their only
way to find Red Sox things to make fun of.
I do. This one isn't as much on the Red Sox. In fact, there's another Boston Red Sox thing that isn't quite on them. But,
okay.
But as you can see right here, the umpire giving a traditional strike count to a pitch that was thrown. However, this was after a previously called strike and a foul ball. So this at-bat continued after what would have been strike three.
That's fun.
Yeah.
See, that's something you don't see all the time. Just an ump losing count.
Do you remember? I don't remember which game it was. There was an NFL game a few years ago that went to a fifth down.
I don't.
It was late in the fourth quarter. I want to say it was the Buccaneers, but I feel like I'm wrong.
Oh no. I remember Tom Brady thought it was third down, but it was fourth down, and he like held up his four fingers saying that.
I remember that one. I'm thinking of something different.
No, I don't recall a fifth down.
But what happened was when that happened in football, the linesmen, the people who hold the dial-a-down things on the sidelines, they had a down earlier than what it was on the field. So like the Fox graphic said, oh, it's 3rd and 10. And the dial down guys had second down. So on the field, they got to run an extra play and scored a touchdown, and all they needed was a PAT to tie, and it was blocked. So justice was served, as was in this case, because the very next pitch, which would have been strike 4, he grounded out to first base.
There you go.
It's one of those things that you hate to see it happen, especially if it causes somebody to lose in that manner. But the way it ended up, no harm, no foul.
Even then, I'm not an invested baseball fan. To hell with it. I wish he would have hit a home run after it. Really, really just make all the baseball purists angry.
I mean, that probably would have
been making baseball purists angry, by the way. It's a fun activity. I highly recommend it.
I mean, we might do that on the show sooner or later. Moving on to the Minnesota Twins and the San Diego Padres. And we're going to go into a couple things with this one. On this play, the ball was hit toward right center field. Pretty routine play, except for the umpire being in the way of the ball and stopping it from going into the outfield.
I feel like this happens a lot in baseball, a decent amount where this isn't weird to me. The ump right there, I don't know what his official title is. I feel like it's not umpire. It's second base judge or something like that. I feel like they're always in the way. They're like the ref that's in the secondary in the NFL. That's what that guy is right there, is just in the way.
The thing with the Padres, though, is that it cost them a chance to tie the game. And
those are the Padres? What the hell are they wearing?
That's what I was going to ask you. They look like they're straight up like a 1950s ice cream shop or something.
That looks like something they would create in the show as a joke team and just kind of roll with it because it's funny.
Yeah. I have no idea what they were thinking.
A bright pink and chartreuse helmet. That is that's something.
Okay, so I feel like I have to tell this story. Do you play football video games too? I know you're big into watching the NFL play.
Yeah, Madden sucks, but the commercial, they're the only game that you can buy. So yes, I do.
So many years ago, when NFL Quarterback Club was still a thing, I remember.
Quarterback Club, yes.
I believe it was QB Club 2000 on the N64.
You're taking me back, Greg. Oh my goodness, so many.
I know. Classic times. Let me put it this way: the NFL Quarterback Club '99 theme I have on a playlist in my car, looping that sumbitch for an hour because it's so good.
It is good.
But in that game, my brother and I created our own football teams, and he had a color scheme of dark green, dark red, and dark blue.
Those don't really match.
They were the ugliest some pitches you've ever seen. I have
when you could create teams though in Madden. I think the last one you could do that in was 12, and then they took it away because EA Sports sucks. What's that? But okay, you know what? I feel like enough people watch this where we can help this revolution. I don't know if you watch Soft Drink TV on YouTube, but his literal entire YouTube, most of it's just kind of dunking on EA and how their games have just gone to shit and it's just not good anymore. If you haven't, go watch it. It talks about how old Madden games he has some absurd number. It's 80 some features that used to be in Madden games that aren't anymore. Comparing it to ESPN 2K5, which is by and large the best football game ever created. It's so fun. I still have the game. I have it and still play it on PS2 every once in a while. It's great. So yes, let's apparently last year's Madden, apparently it got a little bit better and people had slightly better reviews about it. But if this one sucks, God damn it, we can do this. We can make change. We can make the NFL open up the licensing so a different company can make a simulation football game. Who makes the show for baseball? Is it Sony?
I think it might be. But the thing is, I thought the show for the longest time was PlayStation exclusive. I have it on the Xbox One, so I think they opened that up to
Like you have the new one on the Xbox One?
Well, even 21.
Okay, then they must have just
I'm not
recently
talking
done that because I do remember it was a PlayStation exclusive for a long time.
Yeah.
They had, I think Xbox had like 2K baseball for a long time and then that discontinued. But yes, so if Sony can make it, if 2K wants to make it, I don't care. Somebody other than EA, look, EA can still keep making their games. That's not to say that they have to stop, but open up the licensing so they have some form of competition. It's like WWE and AEW, Greg Cherry. Competition makes things better.
It does.
Like this whole monopoly that EA has on the Madden or the football video game world is horse shit, and I will not stand for it anymore.
I'll tell you what, like in that same vein, I'm excited about the college football game returning. Like I know
they did college football great.
Yeah, college football games were so much better than Madden.
I don't recall a bad college football game.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like an NFL control thing, but like college football games seem to have so much more freedom. Like I remember getting the college football games pretty much every year, and I just enjoyed playing the living shit out of them. They were good.
They were much more fun to play, just from like a pure football standpoint. Like the physics were more realistic. The gameplay felt more like when I play Madden now. Like if I do start doing well, like I feel like it's programmed to make me suck, like in unrealistic ways. And plus, the physics aren't like the football gameplay is not simulation style football. It's stupid. Like it doesn't make sense. Guys don't cover the flat. The reactions are always late. If a quarterback run, I think they fixed this in the last game, but for the longest time, if you scrambled with a quarterback and didn't slide, you fucking fumbled. And it was not, there was no exception. It didn't matter who you were. If you ran with the quarterback, you didn't slide, you fumbled. And it was the most annoying thing. Like, I hate EA Sports.
I don't understand why whenever I played Madden, in the first half, I always tend to be the quarterback. In the first half, I always seem to play decent. And in the second half, I throw like 4 or 5 picks. It's like, how do the defense, like, I don't run the same play all the time. Like, I run different formations, different plays. How do you know where I'm throwing to when it's my second, third guy?
I think it was 19 where like the middle linebackers could legitimately just jump 30 feet in the air. It wasn't 30 feet, but like a pass that would in real life very easily go over the top of them by a wide margin. They would just intercept anything you threw over the middle. Every game seems to have a significant flaw. Every game seems to be buggy. But still going to play it this year. See how it is. Like last year, yes, there was a little bit of an upgrade with the franchise mode, with like the scouting stuff and whatnot. I need to see more though. Give me a pregame show. Give me a postgame show. Give me all this fun stuff that you could use that you don't use anymore because you're lazy and you don't care about football. You care about microtransactions and Ultimate Team and kids using their parents' credit cards to buy shit.
Yeah. Like that.
EA, this is for you. It's on sale. It's free. You can take it and just shove both my fingers up your perennial asses until you make something better.
There's your thumbnail.
God almighty. Yeah, there you go, Jimmy.
Yeah. Oh my!
Or whomever makes us our stuff. I don't remember. There's an entire team of people here. Whether it's Melissa, whether I don't know who's going to be making it.
I think it might be Rob. He's going to have.
It might be Rob. That's what I'm saying.
He's going to have a field day with this one.
It'll either be Rob or Melissa or somebody who make that. But you are welcome
for a 6-minute rant on EA.
For a 6-minute rant on Madden. Yeah. Well, last week it was Ohio that we dunked on. We talked about Slippery Rock for a while, which was nice for me.
We did. Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's Madden.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Welcome.
Do you just want the rest of the platform to be F Madden and we don't even cover the rest of the stuff? I mean, we still got stuff to cover, but
I mean, look, I could go for a while on it.
I believe you should do. It feels like a dissertation almost. The reason why
how Takesha did a dissertation on the German suplex. I can do a dissertation on why Madden sucks.
Yes. Oh my. Going back to baseball. So the New York Mets.
I want to go back to baseball, Greg.
I know. Like you're so passionate. I don't want to take the Madden stuff away.
It's not even that, man. It's just once once we hit a certain point of
the
the
Hall
summer,
of Fame game the Hall of Fame game just happened. There wasn't anything.
If we don't have something for that in here, I'm gonna be kind of sad.
There wasn't anything like explosive as far as the Hall of Fame game goes.
The weather delay. I feel like that was, if there is a God in heaven, that was him just like, that was him just screwing with everybody. Like, oh, you want football? Watch this. Lightning.
Hey, we get preseason football this week, okay? It's not just one game. So.
Like I said, I'll be there. I'll be tweeting about it, telling everybody how good or bad all these Steelers quarterbacks are.
We're not going to know till like they walk out of the tunnel who's the starting quarterback week 1, are we?
That's another story for another day. Oh,
I mean, we're already into the weeds. Why not? I mean, is it good?
Yes.
I mean, Trubisky is listed as the starter on the depth chart, but how much does that mean, really?
It'll be.
The Mets and Washington played each other. I almost wanted to call them the Expos. They haven't been the Expos in how long?
I remember when they first became the Nationals. I was so confused. I was in like first grade or whenever first.
Yeah, I didn't realize like, hey, we're gonna call them the Washington Nationals, even though we stole them from Canada. Hey.
Yeah. Expos had such a good logo too.
Yeah.
It was. I feel like somebody like did Vladimir Guerrero play for the Expos?
That sounds about right.
Am I imagining that?
If he didn't, it was the Blue Jays.
I'll have to look.
Or am I thinking of Jose Batista?
Jose Batista played for the Blue Jays.
Yeah, I know Jose Batista definitely played for the Blue Jays. This is why we need football to happen.
Yeah, I'm talking about Vladimir Guerrero and Jose Batista.
Yes. Anyway, fielding issues happened in this game because, as you can see, if you're going to throw to second base, you might want to aim at second base.
Who threw that?
You could. It was one of the Nationals.
Was it an attempted steal situation?
No, this was a hit to third, and
okay. I can see. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was a hit to third. The ball was mishandled upon picking it up.
Okay.
So an attempted
double play. Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah. Hooray for baseball follies. I don't know what else to say about it.
Well, we're going to continue in that same vein because I messed up the order of this, but who cares? Joe Adell did his best Bill Buckner impression when the Astros played the Angels. He tried to get the ball coming off the wall, and it went right underneath his legs, right through his legs. Tried to throw
the 5-hole.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. That's my Canadian impression. Do you like that? Oh, fuck yeah.
Is that Tempest approved?
I don't know. You'll have to ask Tempest. It's more of like my Russell Peters impression of him doing a Canadian impression. It's just funny. Oh, fuck yeah.
I love how we go for, it's like, who do we know in Canada that can verify this? Oh, here's this one guy that we know.
Tempest doesn't really have a Canadian accent either, though.
No, he doesn't. Okay, so you brought this up to me because we talked about this before the show, and I want to explain this, the cereal soup thing.
Yeah, like you tweeted about it earlier. You were like talking about like Mythical Kitchen and stuff, Good Mythical Morning.
Yeah.
I watched Good Mythical Morning, so like I understood the reference that you were making, and I watched Mythical Kitchen stuff, so like I get what you were talking about. I just didn't know how this would relate to us.
So Dalvin Cook was on the Rich Eisen show, and during the interview, he was brought up this tweet from Aaron Jones.
Okay.
So Aaron Jones asked his cereal soup, and Rich Eisen and Dalvin Cook had like a good 1.5, 2-minute conversation on this.
Okay.
And Dalvin Cook kind of alluded to the fact that, he could see it happening, but he doesn't think that, soup can be cold.
Yeah. I was just about to say, well, two things make it not soup. One, it's cold. Two, soup has broth. Cereal doesn't have broth, it has milk. So I will say definitively, no, it's not soup.
See, I'm the weird one who doesn't have milk in the cereal, so I really have no horse in this race.
Did you just eat it out of the bag then, or did you pour it into a bowl?
Well, I put it into a bowl and then eat it that way.
With a spoon?
What's that?
With a spoon still, or with your hands?
Yeah, with a spoon. I mean, mini wheats I don't do with a spoon because like
Yeah, you can just.
nothing there. But with like Frosted Flakes and
Why don't
Cheerios
you
and stuff
use
like
milk?
that.
Do you just not like milk?
I don't like my cereal getting soggy. And
Then eat it.
yeah, thanks.
That's a simple solution.
There is an exception though, because I'm a child. Count Chocula. That's the exception. Like I don't mind having milk in that cereal.
Here's the thing: you can always just like put more milk in if you run. Like just put a little bit of milk in. Then different cereals get. You watch Good Mythical Morning. They've done the experiment.
Yeah, they've done that.
Get soggier faster. Like if we're talking Fruity Pebbles, yeah, you got to eat those shits fast because you'll get to the bottom and it feels like it's that gross thing where it's like not even it's not even chewy, it's not hard, it just literally sits there where it's just soggy and gross. Like I understand that.
Yeah.
There's different milk to cereal levels that you need to use for different cereals. Like because I've got what the hell is it? It's like the corn puffs with the fruity marshmallow. Not even marshmallows, they're hard too. I don't know what the hell the name of it is. But I've got those, and I can eat those shits all day because they stay pretty hard even with a good amount of milk. As long as we agree that the cereal comes before the milk.
Yeah.
Using
yeah, because you have to know whenever you put cereal in the bowl first.
Yeah.
And then you have to basically measure how much milk you need.
If you put milk in the bowl before cereal, you're a sociopath.
I don't think I know anybody who does that, or at least nobody that's.
The only time that you should be pouring milk onto cereal is if you're going back for a second bowl and you just want to get it.
Yeah, if it's already there after your first bowl, that's a different story. But if you're initiating the milk first,
right?
What show is this?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of cereals that do you have cereals that you genuinely don't like or might find overrated? Like I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but it's not my favorite to eat. I'll eat it without milk. With milk, I don't like it really in milk.
Yeah, that one's a good one without milk. Yeah,
they get soggy pretty quick.
Yeah, and then they lose their flavor because part of that flavor.
Well, the cinnamon milk afterwards is like your reward.
Yeah. See, that's why I like it with Count Chocula because it becomes.
I was a big Reese's Puffs fan as a kid.
I haven't had Reese's Puffs in so long.
Anything puff is usually really I like corn puffs. I like Reese's Puffs. I like Cocoa Puffs. Dude, I love those commercials growing up. I was such a big fan of the Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs commercials. Yeah. Those things freaking ruled. Do they make those still? Like the commercial? I don't really watch much I don't watch much cable TV unless it's sports.
It's also probably the programming that we watch because we don't watch the shows that would typically have the commercials.
I started watching the early to mid 2000s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles show on Paramount Plus, and I'm starting each time it goes to an ad break, it's all these things for Nerf guns and shit. Throws you. Do you remember the Danimals Crush Cups? It was yogurt in a normal yogurt cup, but you didn't use a spoon. The two sides of it were where you squeezed it. You just it's basically just a smoothie, I guess, for kids.
Maybe I'm thinking.
Anyway, Cole and Dylan Sprouse were the spokespeople for it, and they talked about this Caribbean cruise you could win. And I don't know if anybody ever won it, but I've never heard of anybody actually winning this damn thing.
I feel like all of those contests that they advertise are a scam. I've never heard anybody win any of them.
Yeah, I can agree with that. They're all total BS.
Yeah, it's hey, just buy our cereal, you could win this. It's who has actually won that? DM me on Twitter if you've actually won one of those contests and show me the proof because I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. All right, real quick, back to baseball before we get to our final thing. Christian Vasquez was a player on the Boston Red Sox for many, many years, won a championship with them.
He got traded, didn't
he? He did get traded, and he found out that he got traded right before the series with the Astros He got traded to the Astros.
Huh.
So right before their series began, he finds out he's no longer with Boston. He's with Houston.
I mean, hey, there's worse things to find. Like we've talked, aren't the Astros like good this year, and the Red Sox apparently aren't. So I mean, if anything, that's should be a good day at the office, shouldn't it?
I mean, I feel like Houston is pretty up there. I will verify that because I know the Yankees are no longer the best team in baseball.
I'll see that happen before like the hockey trade deadline too, where like guys will be like skating on the ice and they'll find out, hey, you just got traded, and so they'll like go get undressed and get out of whatever city they're in.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like an Antonio Brown situation where he just leaves halfway through the game.
Right.
MLB standings. I feel like the Astros are pretty up there.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought that we talked about this where the Astros were good and Boston wasn't.
Yeah, Astros lead the AL West by a significant margin. They are 11 games ahead of the Mariners.
Yeah, so good for Christian Vasquez.
Yeah.
So he moved up and out. So wait,
Red Sox are actually.
Did one of the reporters tell him?
I don't know if it was one of his players or one of the reporters or something, because they asked him the question and he basically just said it's a business. And then like people from the Red Sox like took him away from the interviewers so he could, I don't know, to process it or whatever.
Right.
I just thought that the Red Sox are at the bottom of the AL East.
Like the very bottom?
They're below the Orioles.
That's impressive. Orioles.
I want to
that for a while,
I don't know what's going on in Boston. I mean, we've covered numerous of their errors of not being able to even find the ball.
Sure.
But our last play of the week, I do want to say, if you want to send in a chat, go do that to KYN Chats, and we'll read it out on the air. So, are you a fan of country music at all?
Yes, actually, I am. So I feel like the more I grow up, like the more I evolve, the more I look like I like country music. Like now I've got like a mustache and like this bottom thing. Like I look like I'm the biggest Morgan Wallen fan alive.
Do you know who Justin Moore is?
I know of him, yeah.
Okay. So Justin Moore had Diamond Dallas Page come to one of his concerts.
Oh.
And DDP got up on stage and just as kind of like a gag, tried to do the diamond cutter on Justin Moore. And this is how it looked.
Oh, God. That's worse than the Stone Cold McMahon stunner thing at this past Mania.
Yeah, I mean it's about that level. It's not good.
Like, DDP is such a good human being where like I don't care that this sucked. Like he can do no wrong in my eyes. He's such a good person.
Yeah, I mean
I don't really listen to a lot of Justin Moore, but like I know that who he is. I don't know. I listen to like a lot of like mid 2000s country. Some current stuff. Like there's a lot of current stuff that I enjoy. But more like like mid 2000s. I like Kenny Chesney a lot.
Oh, there you go.
Who do I like from here? Let me pull up my like country music playlist and just name people that I enjoy.
Yeah. Also, DDP, isn't he like 70? He should not be doing a diamond cutter. Not
There's no way in hell he's 70.
He's look.
Might be in his 60s. I believe 60s.
Diamond Dallas Page.
How old are you, Diamond Dallas Page? Let's find out.
He is
66. Okay, that's older than I thought he was.
Yeah, he's on the other half of the 60s. I figured 70 might have been too old, but
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even then, late 60s, mid to late 60s, trying to take a bump on a stage, which stages are not padded,
right,
for lack of a better term. But even attempting that is not a good idea.
All right, I've got my country stuff pulled up. Oh, I fucking love Toby Keith.
It's too bad we can't do the throwback to when he suplexed Jeff Jarrett.
I can't take credit for how funny that is to say that. My roommate came down like the stairs one day because he was listening to Toby Keith in the shower.
Yeah.
And I was like, "You're listening to Toby Keith?" And he just says, "I fucking love Toby Keith." And it was the funniest thing. So I like Toby Keith a lot. Tim McGraw, Luke Combs is great. Some Zach Brown band. Zach Brown band's great. I'll tell you what. I tweeted this too. There's a lot of times where like if I'm home alone, I'll turn on colder weather. That's like my song of choice just to sing, and I'll just go off in the shower to a sold out crowd of imaginary people.
Don't we all?
Yeah. Who else? Hardy, Morgan Wallen. Yeah, there's a few like chalk names in there that I really enjoy. But yeah, no, I like country music a good amount.
Yeah. All right, that is going to do it for this week's Unsportsmanlike. Jarrett, let people know where they can find you.
It says it right there. At J Bailey NFL on Twitter. I keep itching my nose, and I'm gonna go over here for a minute. Jesus, it just keeps being itchy. Okay, at J Bailey NFL on Twitter. A lot of stuff coming football wise, in terms of player interviews for Sports Illustrated USA Today. New article came out today on 33rd too, so go read that. We'll do an episode of the Pump Fake later on this week. So yes, all of that on Twitter at J Bailey NFL. Is where, like I said, I tweet out all my stuff, so you'll find it there as well.
There you go. You can find me at Greg Cherry Brand. You can find me every Wednesday on the Greg Cherry Show over on the Greg Cherry Brand on YouTube. I am $90 away from having to defend my championship in a 10-man gauntlet. I made a mistake.
Wait, so what was the condition for that?
The donation goal for the month of August was $300. And I am $90 away from hitting that. I did not realize how badly people wanted me to defend my championship. And looking at it now, I should have asked for more.
Yeah, anyway.
But yeah, it's too late now, and I might have to. It's not looking good for me, needless to say. But you know, it could fall off.
Tell you what, I'll host if you do.
I mean, I'm sure you could come up with questions. Like the guy who normally hosts it is going to have to come up with at least 180 wrestling trivia questions.
Why that many?
Because it's a 10-man gauntlet and it's 20 questions per match. So 9 matches. And
on second thought, I'll watch.
Trust me, I've done 2 16-man tournaments, written 300 plus questions.
That's
each
impressive.
One of them.
That's exhausting. Yeah, that takes a lot. I applaud you for it.
It's mentally draining. And then having to defend my championship after the fact against the person who won the thing.
Look, I get tired. Not even tired, but like I just get bored of creating stuff for when I do Trivia Bowl. Like that much. My God.
Yeah, and I film those episodes once a week. It's like week after week after week. And I had to have all 300 questions done before I started the tournament.
That takes good for you for that.
That's why if this gauntlet happens and I retain through it all, I'm retiring the summit.
That's a good idea. That is a good idea. Yeah, don't do that ever again.
Yes. Jack of all trades is more fun anyway.
Jack of all trades is fun.
Yes.
I'm like if it stays linear, like I finished last in the first appearance, and the tag team, me and Cher got third. So yes, like whenever I'm on next, should be second, and then after that, I should win.
As long as there are no audio rounds, you should be fine.
Yeah, fuck those. It's not even the audio round; it's just the fact that it was like 8-bit, and I couldn't.
Yeah, that happens. Anyway, thank you all for joining us for Unsportsmanlike. We will be back next week after the first week of preseason games. First full week of preseason games, I should say.
Oh, yeah, that should give us a lot of content.
I hope so. Especially because it's not all going to be first stringers. That should bring
we're going to see people make mistakes and get cut because of it.
Yeah.
That's not nice that, but that's what will happen.
But we will see all of that coming to you next week. Monday, 8:30 Eastern, right here on Know Your News. For Jarrett Bailey, I'm Greg Cherry. Have a good night. We'll see you next week.